Our presentation in Stage 28 will begin in just a few moments. But before we begin, here are a few reminders. For the comfort and safety of those around you, remain seated during the presentation, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the theater. And please, supervise your children.
Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Meetings are permitted, but we ask that you treat our theater as you would your own living room. Second, please deposit all trash in the razor box. As a courtesy to our presenters and everyone else in the theater, refrain from flash photography and turn off or silence your cell phones. Also, we ask that there be no texting during the presentation. The texting lamp is out. And now, Stage 28 and Walt Disney Imagineering are pleased to present a good look at Buena Vista Street, sneaking a peek at the new entrance to Disney California Adventure. Please welcome Imagineers Lisa Girolami, Ray Spencer, and Coulter Wynn.
Are we on? Oh, can you hear me?
I think we're on.
Can you hear me?
Good.
Well, thank you. Gosh, there are a lot of people here. So how many people have been to Disney California Adventure? How many people haven't? All right, I guess we're ready to roll then. I wanted to introduce everybody to, I know we just got introduced, but from my far right, we have Coulter Wynn, who for Buena Vista Street, what we'll be talking about today, is the concept architect. And also, to my right, my nearest right, is Ray Spencer, who is the concept designer for Buena Vista Street as well. And then I'm the show producer, which is more like mom. They come to me and say, can I have some money? And I give them money. But,
Yeah, I'll remember that.
okay, good. Oh, boy. And the reason I say that is it certainly does take a team, and I am certainly honored to be on this team. These two gentlemen next to me are some of the best that we have at Imagineering, and it's certainly an honor. And it's very exciting to talk about what we're doing at Disney California Adventure. So, how many people are sick of the construction fences? Yeah! Well, they're going to be up for another year, so get used to them. We're just changing them around a lot. But obviously, the reason those fences are up is for good reason. We've seen, we just finished up Paradise Pier, and all those fences are down. And we're bringing you new things. You know, Walt said, you know, we never finish around here. We're always working on something, and that we take to heart. And before we get into this, I just wanted to give you a little background on what we're doing and what this presentation is about. About four and a half years ago, the group of us got, together and said, okay, we're going to do this expansion of Disney California Adventure. And what does that mean? What that meant in a very general sense is, what can we do to the park to make it better, to, make it connect more with the guests, and also make more sense in terms of where you are, why you're there, what you're doing. And there's always room for improvement, even in the best rides, the best attractions, the best shows. There's always room for improvement. But what we did is we said we're going to take certain parts of the park and we're going to do what we can to tie it in better. And we're going to get into more detail about what that means, but very, very simply, it means making a stronger emotional connection, just like we do at Disneyland, walking into Main Street, and that we're going to talk in much more detail about, because we want you to walk into Disney California Adventure and feel that same emotional connection. And the other thing is, we wanted to introduce more of our characters into Disney California Adventure. You've seen it already with Mickey Mouse on the Silly Symphony Swings, of course Ariel in the Little Mermaid ride, Goofy Sky School, the Toy Story, Mania characters. So we're starting to really bring a lot of those characters back in. That's what works. That's what we all love. So there's, in the most general sense, those are the things that we're doing, working on, sense of place and time, the emotional connection, characters, and bringing it all together the way we love to do for the guests. So I'm going to hand it over first to Ray Spencer, and we're going to go through these awesome slides. You're probably going to see some pictures you've never seen before as well. So you're the first.
All right, so we'll start with the Buena Vista Street overview here. Our main streets around the world create an emotional resonance, as the slide says here. The number of people that have told us over the years that once they arrive on Main Street, they feel like they're home. They feel like it's a safe place. They've left their everyday cares behind, and we're in a world that's magical and new and safe and fun and family-oriented. And you know, that's one of the elements, that's one of the DNA elements that we've really emphasized here at creating Buena Vista Street. It's a very important aspect of the parks that we design, and we felt that first and foremost, that's what we need to create that sense of home and that sense of warmth and that sense of belonging that our main streets typically create. Looking at the entrance here, we're just starting to zoom in on the Buena Vista Street overview, which Coulter will be diving into in a few minutes. If we look at the name of the street, Optimism, Opportunity, Buena Vista means good view, and it's also, for most of you that probably know this, the street that our studios are located on in Burbank, and where Walt built the studios after the success of Snow White, using the money that was made from that film. So that really gave us the opportunity to pay homage to that element, and not only that, the fabulous story of Walt and his arrival in California. He arrived in 1923 from Kansas City, $40 in his pocket, a cardboard suitcase, and an extreme sense of optimism and opportunity that he looked forward to in creating a life out here in movie production, animation production, and developing the studios. Walt Disney, for a lot of people, unknown to some of us, and excuse me for a second, I'm just getting tongue-tied here. For a lot of people, now we're doing some research and we're finding out that some people don't understand that Walt Disney was a real person. They think of it as a corporate name. So it's important for us to go back and really kind of tell the story of this remarkable person and this remarkable journey and these pioneering efforts and the risks he took. And so for us, Buena Vista Street gives us the opportunity to complete that bookend. If Main Street was Walt's romanticized hometown of Marceline, Missouri, then this is the second part of his life. This is when he came out to California, a young man, full of optimism, and our Main Street, our Buena Vista Street from 1923 when he arrived to 1937 where the Carthay Circle Theater is, that's the period of time when all of these pioneering efforts were made, and we had culminating with the premiere of Snow White, which of course became a tremendous success and really gave us the birth of our company and gave us really the opportunity to all be here today. So we feel this is a really important story, and that's what we're concentrating on in this Main Street. So I'd like to turn it over to Coulter Wynn now. He's going to go ahead and get into the plans and the architecture and really how we manifested this street for you.
Well, some of you visited the model yesterday. I was fortunate enough to be able to talk to a few of you. And what we're really doing with the street is making it work in the way that Disneyland's Main Street works. In terms of, we've expanded it out to into the Esplanade a bit, as you can see with the new turnstiles. And it gives you a place to decompress and sort of, we're creating some opportunities for, I think this laser works. So the new turnstiles are out here. And so this works like Town Square in Disneyland, where you can begin to pick up those things that you need, the water, the sunscreen, various things so you can get your family together, and then begin your journey from there. And the street is really divided into a couple of zones. This is much like Los Feliz or Atwater Village, small town communities where Walt spent his early years. And we've got the Hyperion Bridge, which is where the former Golden Gate Bridge was, and that divides the street where now we've got more of the Los Feliz, Wilshire Boulevard area. One thing that's really important is that the new fountain and hub, Carthay Circle, has been offset from the street. You can see that on the plan. And that was very important because now you can be at the fountain and not be able to see the Disneyland train station. It's one of the problems that the existing entry had was you were not in an immersive environment. You could always look around and figure out you really weren't in the story. We don't want you, if you're in Adventureland, we don't want you seeing Tomorrowland. So that same logic sort of works here too. We have to go back and always remember what worked at Disneyland and how we can take those guiding principles and make sure we're applying them here at California Adventure. The Carthay Circle Theater is the icon building at the end of the street, and we're really excited about it. We think it ties, it's a complete connection story-wise to the history of the company, and it's going to be a beautiful icon for the park. So, next. So this is really a composite just to show you everything in red. Well, it's all gone now, but you can see the existing the previous turnstiles, and now the current turnstiles, the way they've been pulled out, and the way the street has gone through where the former tile mural walls were and the bridge. And now you see, very importantly, the addition of landscape. One of the key messages we got from you, our guests, was that there really weren't enough trees in Disney California Adventure. I mean, palm trees are nice, but they don't do much for you on an August day. So one of the things we're doing is, you can see in the model here, it's this large tree. We're creating sort of a California scene where big trees existed before the architecture came in. So, you know, we've all gone around to the small little commercial areas and you see the big oak tree and you go, wow, that's 200 years old. And good thing they kind of dodged it. We're creating some of that on Buena Vista Street.
I think, to Coulter's point, California Adventure is full of palm trees that point straight up and into the atmosphere. So your eye is always taken out of the scene. And part of our goal here with this landscaping and some of the other elements we've designed is to keep your eye down in the scene, so you're always in the story. You know, that's a really important aspect of the design. Guest comfort, shade, satisfiers, really solving a lot of the problems that we felt really needed to be addressed in terms of guest comfort and storytelling.
And it's funny that when you are in an environment like a theme park and even out on city streets, what we call landscape architecture or hardscape, you know, and softscape, it's important and it's needed and it completes the whole picture. And just as they were saying, trees certainly for great reasons, they provide oxygen, things like that, and shade, all the creature comforts Ray was talking about, are all really important, but they also soften things as well. And we spend just as much time on the area development landscaping, what curbs are going to look like if we have curbs, what trees, what concrete, what material, if it's not concrete on the floor, on the grounds. We spend a lot of time with that because it really does tie everything together. And if there's one thing that's just off, you may not see it, you may not even recognize it, but you're going to be aware that something's wrong. And so every single detail we spend many, many, many hours talking about, even down to the selection of trees.